Chaim, I would like to ask you about, based on your experience, you have experience of more than 20 mergers and acquisition, and I would like to ask you about your experience on post-merger integration.
I want to share with you some of my lessons from 22 integration processes, where I was the Vice President HR of Teva Corporation. And I want to share with you some of my experiences as some lessons from this process. First of all, my point of departure to define what means integration is a bit different than from what the academic literature or the practitioners are using. Because from the practitioner's point of view, from academic point of view, M&A, merger and acquisition, and the integration process is one unit. From my point of view, it's two different, not different, but some complementing systems. Why? And I will tell you, and I'll explain why I'm making this type of difference. M&A, the deal, I'm talking about the deal, is mostly is between two parties who are interested. One wants to sell, one wants to buy, and they are sitting in a classified environment, in a room, discussing the process, due diligence sometimes, sometimes, discussing the price, discussing the future, and there is a legal advisor who puts on in writing, and you have a contract, and so on and so on. But basically, this negotiation takes place between two interested partners.
Okay.
When you are the announcement of the deal, different audience, managers, employees that may be very under threat. If they have some kind of experience, they are, if we're watching the TV, they know that sometimes merger and acquisition went together with some efficiency processes, layoff, and some other problem. Managers can lose their status. Managers, the employees can lose their history. Nobody, the new company, maybe don't know who is who. And from this point of view, most of the deals, they are not interested. They want to keep their independence, and they are very, very afraid from this uncertainty and so on. From this point of view, the integration process, which means the post-merger integration, PMI, is a different story. Different story, deals with people, and it deals with culture. And the language is different. The language, it's not finance, it's not economics, it's not numbers. We are dealing with people, we're dealing with people issues, and from my point of view, I tend to differentiate between these two phenomena.
Is it okay if I would say that at the beginning is more finance, and then become the human factor is most important?
Exactly. But people, when they are negotiating a deal, tend to forget to put aside the integration process. It will be okay.
Yes.
And from my point of view, as 30 years Vice President at HR, I had to raise my hand to say, people, it's not finished, it's not done. The deal is not done because there is an integration process. And also, I was really surprised to see that most of the academic literature sometimes don't relate the integration as something which is a substance. And from this point of view, I tend to emphasize, and this is what I want to share with you, some lessons from the integration process. Dealing with, if we see the difference, two other terms of reference that I want to share. One is strategy, and the second is culture. Strategy, from my point of view, it means the what question. What business we are, what is the direction of the business, why we are doing this merger and acquisition, why we are trying to buy, what is the synergies between the new company, but this is the strategy, this is the what question. Culture is the how you're treating, how you continue, how to implement this deal. I'll give you some very banal example what means culture.
Okay.
It is not academic, sometimes banal. When companies over the world are recruiting people, you hire. Most of the companies in the world are dealing with the same human technology. Selection process, interviews, sometimes psychological tests, sometimes graphology, negotiating the terms of employment, negotiating the salary, and so on, so on. Most of the companies are dealing with the same way. The question is, when you say bye-bye to an employee, when is a layoff process, when you have to retire from an employee, how do you treat him? And from this point of view, layoff or saying, as I say, bye-bye to an employee, it's a different story. This is the culture.
So after the acquisition, when companies want to cut some costs and lay off people, now come the issue of how they treat the people, to lay them out.
If it's necessary.
If it's necessary.
If it's necessary, of course.
Okay.
Now, culture, from this point of view, is something that, again, the academic literature and the part of and some of the people are dealing with the issue of merger try to neglect. But culture, as you say, culture is now, when coming to the integration process, culture is the
main issue.
From my point of view, this is my personal point of view, the main issue.
Okay.